longest time there's been lots of debates about the gender split within the industry, and I think also predominantly in the Western world. Do you think we're doing enough on that front? You know, and do you actually commit to doing things around that yourself, and what's your view on it?
We're not doing enough, I think is the short answer. We're only about 50% Americans. We try and get people from all over the world. It doesn't really necessarily address the gender or race issue that you're referring to, but I think we're, you know, as much as we can visit advertising colleges and look for interesting people there to integrate them into our company. Again, looking outside of that advertising industry is probably the bigger issue, getting people, unexpected people into the industry. And I think it's really critical. It's not really something that we're quite capable of doing yet because of size, but it's definitely, it has to happen.
Yeah. You know, I can tell you in the studio we're about, you know, it's about a third of the studio's kind of women, and it's designers. Our lead designer's kind of a woman. It's just such a touchy subject because there's no kind of rhyme or reason to it. It'd be ridiculous, I think, to say that any of us run any kind of policy where we wouldn't employ a man or a woman or whatever to kind of do something, but it just has a tendency that it does seem to be, you know, and again, from my perspective, it does seem to be a fairly white middle-class pursuit.
I think it's a real problem, actually, and you almost crave it. You almost crave wanting to bring in people that, not just from different backgrounds and race and ethnicities and international flavor, but also people that don't necessarily know advertising, that don't necessarily know writers that worked as journalists and designers that worked as painters and cartoonists, and finding it across a whole spectrum of things. And I know that we're not doing as good of a job as we should to attract you know, a diverse group of people in a creative department where you can look around and see just so many different backgrounds kind of melding together for the greater good of doing something special.